Today we're diving into one of cinema's most iconic thrillers, The Silence of the Lambs. This film didn't just terrify audiences, it made history by sweeping all 5 major Oscars. But behind the scenes, things were just as intense. Keep watching, because these 27 facts will completely transform how you see this masterpiece. And I've saved one final secret for the very end. Anthony Hopkins only appears for 24 minutes and 52 seconds, yet he won Best Actor. It's the second shortest performance ever to win the award. In terms of percentage, he's only in 21% of the film. His presence is so powerful that audiences remember him as being in far more of the movie. That creepy, fast-slurping sound Lecter makes, completely improvised by Hopkins during filming. Everyone loved it, though director Demme eventually got annoyed with it, but he kept it in, and it became one of the character's most iconic moments. Jodie Foster deliberately avoided Anthony Hopkins between their scenes because she was genuinely terrified of him. She used that real fear to fuel her performance, creating authentic tension in every interaction.
You see a lot, Doctor. But are you strong enough to point that high-powered perception at yourself? What about it? Why don't you look at yourself and write down what you see?
During their first meeting scene, Anthony Hopkins' mocking of Jodie Foster's southern accent was completely improvised. Foster's horrified reaction was genuine. She felt personally attacked in that moment. Later, she thanked Hopkins for creating such an authentic emotional response that elevated the scene.
On Silence of the Lambs, is it true, did you never speak to Anthony Hopkins?
No, never spoke to him. He was scary. The first day we had a reading, we had like a little read-through. I got there early and then I went to the bathroom and I came back, everybody was sitting down. We did the read-through of the film.
Martha Stewart and Anthony Hopkins dated briefly during production. After the film's release, Stewart ended the relationship because she couldn't separate Hopkins from his terrifying performance as Hannibal Lecter, the ultimate testament to his acting power. During Clarice's confession about the lambs, a crew member dropped a wrench. Demme panicked, thinking it ruined the take, but Foster stayed completely in character and continued. After cut, she turned and yelled at the crew asking what that noise was. Demme kept the footage. Listen carefully and you can hear it. The idea to use glass in Lecter's Baltimore cell instead of traditional bars came from production designer Christy Zia. Director Demme was unhappy shooting through bars because they destroyed the intimate connection between Lecter and Starling. The glass allowed for that intense eye contact while maintaining the barrier. Jodie Foster spent extensive time with FBI agent Mary Ann Krause during preparation. Krause gave Foster the idea for the scene where Clarice stands by her car crying, explaining that sometimes the work becomes so overwhelming that agents need an emotional release. Director Jonathan Demme used a brilliant technique. When characters talk to Clarice, they look directly at the camera. When she responds, she's always looking slightly off camera. This makes the audience experience her point of view directly, encouraging us to identify with her rather than those interrogating her. The plan was to dress Lecter in a yellow or orange jumpsuit after he was moved from Baltimore. Hopkins convinced the director and costume designer that pure white would make the character seem more clinical and disturbing. He got the idea from his own fear of dentists, that sterile, unsettling whiteness. Hopkins noticed that Lecter shared characteristics with reptiles. Reptiles only blink consciously, when they want to. Throughout the film, Hopkins blinks very deliberately and only in special moments, a subtle touch that makes Lecter seem less human. One of Hopkins' most unsettling character choices came from a friend in London who rarely blinked when speaking. This unnerved everyone around him, and Hopkins borrowed this trait to make Lecter even more predatory and inhuman. Buffalo Bill's infamous dance wasn't in the original screenplay, though it's in the novel. Ted Levine insisted it was essential to defining his character. He was right. It's become one of cinema's most disturbing and memorable sequences. During location scouting for Buffalo Bill's house, Ted Levine discovered the house being considered wasn't just in his hometown. It was literally next door to his high school girlfriend's house. Talk about method acting bringing you home. The pattern on the moth's back in the poster isn't natural. It's actually Salvador Dalí's artwork, in Voluptas Mors, a picture of 7 naked women arranged to look like a human skull, an artistic Easter egg hidden in plain sight. The first moth cocoon found in a victim's throat was made from Tootsie Rolls and gummy bears, so it would be safe if accidentally swallowed during filming. A clever solution to a potentially hazardous prop. Jodie Foster convinced Demi to scrap the original opening, a generic FBI training drug bust. She suggested opening with Clarice running through the obstacle course instead, which became one of the film's most memorable sequences and set the tone perfectly. Despite their incredible chemistry and the film revolving around their relationship, Jodie Foster and Anthony Hopkins only appeared together in 4 scenes throughout the entire movie. The power of their performances make it feel like so much more. Hopkins viewed this film as his last shot at Hollywood stardom. Despite acting since the 1960s, he hadn't reached A-list status. He said if this didn't work, he'd quit Hollywood and focus on British stage acting. Instead, it won him his first Oscar and made him a household name virtually overnight. Hopkins said he saw Lecter as similar to HAL 9000 from 2001: A Space Odyssey, a highly complex, intelligent, logical killing machine who seems to know everything happening around him. It's why Lecter feels so omniscient and calculating. Hopkins described his voice for Lecter as a combination of Truman Capote and Katharine Hepburn. This unusual blend created that distinctive, cultured, unsettling tone that makes every word Lecter speaks memorable. Director Jonathan Demme knew Foster was perfect for Clarice the moment he saw her walk purposefully down a corridor toward him. He loved her natural air of determination. She embodied the character before saying a single word. Gene Hackman originally bought the novel's rights, planning to direct and star as either Lecter or Crawford. He withdrew after watching himself in Mississippi Burning at the Oscars, feeling uneasy about taking more violent roles. His loss became cinema's gain. When the film debuted at the Show East convention in October 1990, the audience sat in shocked silence as the credits rolled. Screenwriter Ted Talley asked director Demme if their movie was too scary. They decided to proceed anyway, releasing it on Valentine's Day 1991. The movie made back its entire budget in just its first week of release. It then stayed at #1 for 5 consecutive weeks, proving that audiences were hungry for this type of sophisticated thriller. As of 2025, this is one of only 3 films ever to win all 5 top Oscars: Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress, and Best Screenplay. The others are It Happened One Night from 1934 and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest from 1975. Elite company. Before filming, Foster trained directly with FBI Behavioral Science Unit agents, the same team that coined the term serial killer. They taught her interview posture, tone, and subtle interrogation tactics. Clarice's calm, strategic approach with Lecter comes straight from those sessions. And here's the final secret. When Lecter says he ate a census taker's liver with fava beans and a nice glass of Chianti, most audiences miss the dark joke. All 3 items contain tyramine, which can be fatal when combined with MAO inhibitors, the antidepressants used in mental institutions at the time. Lecter was telling the audience he wasn't taking his medication. And hope you enjoyed these incredible facts about Silence of the Lambs that prove this masterpiece is even more fascinating behind the scenes than on screen. Which fact surprised you most? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into legends. Until next time, keep watching, keep feeling, and never stop chasing the magic of cinema.